This is the EGO Power TR4204 42-inch 56-volt lithium-ion cordless riding lawn tractor. It looks sharp in green and black, with a modern profile, a steel front bumper, LED headlights, and a 42-inch stamped steel deck tucked under a body that uses a lot of plastic panels. There's a steering wheel and pedals like a car, a digital LCD screen in the dash, cup holders, a small storage cubby under the hood, and a phone holder with a USB-A port. It's a good-looking machine, and at 640 pounds, it feels substantial when you climb on. From my experience, the big draw is simple. People want the quiet and low-maintenance side of electric, but they still want tractor steering and pedals instead of zero-turn lap bars. That's exactly what this aims to deliver. It runs on EGO's 56-volt ARC lithium battery platform, the same batteries used in a bunch of their tools. Peak power is the feature that lets it pull energy from up to 6 batteries at once. The marketing says up to 21 horsepower equivalent and up to 1.5 acres per charge with the included 6 6-hour packs. On paper, that sounds like the perfect bridge between electric tech and traditional tractor feel. Key features that matter to me are the dual brushless cutting motors, the 12 deck heights from 1.5 to 4.5 inches, the 3 blade speeds, 3 drive speeds, and cruise control. Brushless motors are electric motors without brushes that wear out, so they're quieter, more efficient, and need less maintenance. The blades are direct drive, so there are no belts to stretch or snap. That's a big plus. The deck is stamped steel, not plastic, which helps with durability. It also has Bluetooth, bright headlights, and a tow hitch for small yard tasks. In my opinion, the cutting performance is the star here. The cut looks clean and even, and it keeps that quality as you move across the yard. I deliberately let a patch of grass get tall and slightly damp. The TR4204 pushed through without bogging down. That 21 horsepower claim might be an apples to oranges comparison, since electric torque behaves differently than a gas engine, but the end result is what matters. It has the muscle to mow typical suburban lawns, including patches that get away from you. The experience behind the wheel is where I started to get mixed feelings. The seat is fairly comfy and slides to fit. There's spring support underneath, but once the tractor rolls onto imperfect ground, the ride turns bumpy. The suspension is stiff and transfers a lot of chatter into your body. If your yard is glass flat, you'll be fine. If it's like most yards with mild bumps and dips, expect a rougher ride than you might want for longer sessions. Steering is where I had the biggest gripe. There's a lot of slop around the center. I move the wheel a good bit before the front wheels respond, and over bumps I can hear and feel the linkages clatter. It's loud enough to be the loudest thing on the machine, which is odd because the motors are very quiet. The brake setup is also awkward. When you let off the accelerator, the tractor uses regenerative braking. That means the motors help slow the machine and send a little power back into the batteries. It's smooth, but it allows some rolling before you come to a stop. For a quick stop, you need the physical brake pedal, and mine feels high and grabby. Smooth stops take practice. And it's not the kind of confidence I want when I'm maneuvering around landscaping or a slope. The forward and reverse control is another area that takes patience. When I move the selector from forward to reverse, there's a delay, about 2 to 3 seconds, before it actually starts creeping the other direction. That lag makes tight turns around trees or quick repositioning more annoying than they should be. With a hydrostatic gas tractor, that instant response is part of the appeal. Here I found myself planning wider loops to avoid backing up, and that's not how I like to mow. Now about the batteries. The claim is up to 1.5 acres per charge with the 6 included 6-hour packs. From my experience on a yard just under an acre with some gentle slopes, mixed grass, and a few obstacles, I couldn't finish in one go. I consistently got around half to 2/3 of an acre per charge when mowing at a normal pace with blade speed set to medium or high. If I slowed down, used a lower blade speed, kept the deck a bit higher, and waited for totally dry conditions, I could stretch it, but not enough to reach the 1.5 acre claim. If you mulch, you'll likely use more power because the blades have to recirculate clippings and recut them. If you mow thick spring growth or damp grass, the draw goes up again. Recharging takes roughly 3 to 3.5 hours on the included charger. That turned a short mow into a split session with a long break in the middle. If you already own extra EGO batteries, you can swap packs and keep going, but you need a lot of capacity ready to cover a full acre and change. Build quality is a mixed bag. The underlying frame and the deck feel solid, and the front bumper is a nice touch. The body panels are mostly plastic, which helps with the modern look but doesn't convey the durability of a traditional all-steel tractor. The buttons and the blade engagement switch feel light, and I'm not sure how they'll hold up after years of dust, heat, and vibration. The blades cut well, but they're thin, and a small stick can nick them. This machine isn't meant to clear branches. It's a lawn tool, not a brush cutter. If you keep the yard clean, it rewards you with a great finish. If you try to mow rough terrain and debris, you'll be replacing blades and picking up dings. If you're new to this category, a few terms are helpful. Deck height is how high the blades are off the ground, which decides how much grass you cut off in one pass. Higher deck height usually needs less power because you're cutting less. Mulching means blocking the discharge, so clippings are chopped into fine pieces and left on the lawn as natural fertilizer. It's great for the lawn, but uses more battery. Cruise control lets you lock a steady ground speed so your rows stay consistent. Drive speed affects how fast the tractor moves, and blade speed affects how fast the blades spin. Both affect battery use. Keeping blades sharp reduces power draw and gives a cleaner cut. It's perfect for homeowners who really value quiet operation and want to mow without fumes or engine noise. If your yard is well maintained, generally under 3/4 of an acre, and relatively flat, you'll get the most out of it. Mowing in the evening without waking the neighborhood is a real benefit. The digital controls are easy once you learn them, and it's nice to tap a button for blade speed instead of dealing with old-school levers. Being able to run the same batteries in your trimmer, blower, or chainsaw is a big convenience if you're already in the EGO ecosystem. From my experience, the runtime claim is the sticking point. I wish that 1.5 acre number matched typical conditions rather than best case. If you're counting on one continuous mow for an acre or more, plan for either extra batteries or a brake to charge. If responsive handling is your top priority, the steering slop and the forward-reverse lag will test your patience. If comfort over bumpy ground matters, you might find the ride harsh. I'd recommend this for someone who wants the quiet, wants the simple maintenance profile of electric, and cuts a smaller, tidy lawn on a regular schedule so they aren't constantly battling tall, thick grass. If you already own EGO tools and batteries, the platform compatibility adds real value. Keep your blades sharp, avoid mowing wet grass, set the deck height a touch higher on dense areas, and use medium blade speed unless you truly need high. Those habits help stretch your runtime. In my opinion, EGO nailed the cutting performance and the electric drive's smooth feel once you're moving. The interface, headlights, tow hitch, and the lack of belts are all strong moves. The weak points are the steering precision, the brake feel, the shifter delay, the bumpy ride, and the gap between the marketed acreage and what many people will see day to day. It feels a bit like a premium battery system placed into a tractor that hasn't fully caught up in chassis refinement. In conclusion, this mower proves that electric tractors can be powerful and pleasant to use, but it also shows how important honest runtime expectations and tight handling are. If you're under about 0.75 acres, you care about peace and quiet, and you can live with some quirks, it's a compelling option. If you've got an acre or more, hills, or a lot of obstacles, I'd look at alternatives or be ready with extra batteries and some patience between charges. You can find detailed information about the EGO Power TR4204 in the comments section. See you in the next video.